Alright, here we are for episode 7, starting Rebirth -2. I'm going to start throwing 3 or more fights into a single video now, just because we've gotten through some of the really long, tough fights. And so now it's mostly just the challenges. I'm also going to speed up some fights that are simple, like the first fight of the Rebirth is always a no magic challenge, which is super easy because it's literally impossible to fail. So I'll be speeding through that double time. Now, as you can see, I'm just going through the gem store. This is a really important thing to do at the beginning of every awakening to see if you can get some more attack gems or other useful gems. Experience gems in this type of challenge are also critical because it can even double how many levels you gain and things like that, and give you a lot more stat points. So that's really good to check. It is difficult because I don't have a lot of gold because I went straight into negatives, and you get only gem drops, and so I only have the gold from selling some gems. So I had to be kind of sparing with what I bought, but I did get some that'll help me out. Now in this first fight, I did choose to use duels instead of heavies. I do have those good perfect block damage gems, but I was pretty sure that I would be able to do more damage and have a safer fight with duels, just because I got some attack gems, and then I wouldn't have to worry about limited shield, because starting with this rebirth, perfect blocks no longer take 0 shield, they'll start taking 1, and then we'll get higher and higher as we get further into negatives. So here we go, finishing off this fight. Like I said, we sped through it just because it was an easy one. Literally impossible to fail. Now, I'll probably regret selling that dual experience gem just because I could have used it to forge it, because basically what I'm going to do here in negatives is I'm going to forge random gems together to try and get something good. So I put these into the fusion chamber, and then this is now a second recording. It was an hour or two later, and so that fusion actually finished. I'll show the result in just a second. I did collect it before I started the recording, so I got an on-combo 6 shield gem, which will be really helpful for my heavies. So throw that on my heavy weapon. Now this next challenge is going to be 5 perfect blocks. I did fail a couple times, so I put the failures on double time, just so we don't have to watch me fail for too long. Now here I'm trying to buy a couple more gems to put into a random fusion. I can't remember why I tried to buy that health gem, but I just throw those 3 into the forge just to see if I can get something useful out of it. Alright, so go ahead and watch me fail for a little bit, and then when it goes back to normal speed, we'll talk a little bit more. One thing I forgot to mention is, since I got some health gems, that'll help me a lot, because I can take a couple hits without having to worry about dying in one hit. Although, there I go! That's the only time I died in this fight, so now we'll go back to normal speed. So basically it was critical in this. My perfect block damage gems helped a lot. Let me take the Titan down a little faster, because heavies are very slow to do significant damage, especially when they don't have their boosted attack stat like most heavies will. Now I could have done this challenge with light weapons, and I will do a couple challenges where I'll do it with 2 different weapon classes just to show how I would go about that. But in this case I chose to just do it with heavies. Now if I did it with lights, it would be really important to use that on-combo 6 shield gem, because that's the only way to recover shield with light weapons, whereas with heavies you can recover it using parries. So it would have required quite a few perfect blocks, as well as making sure to do some combos. Now here we go, we finished this fight. without too much trouble. One lost fight, that's not too bad, considering some in the last couple videos. I got another health gem that'll help me to be able to take a couple more hits. And so that fusion didn't give me anything useful, just a drop item gem. I ended up selling it just to get a little cash. This experience gem will help a little bit. Replace a gold gem with it because gold gems are basically useless in negatives. I just threw it on there because I had it. That experience, like I said, will help me to gain more levels and get more stat points. Now this is another fight that I'm going to fast forward through because it's no verticals. It's pretty easy to complete with any weapon class. Just avoid any confusion. Any parries, scratches, or normal attacks will count as vertical if they're vertical. But a slash attack with a heavy, even if the slash is vertical, does not count as a vertical hit. So you'll see I'll do a couple combos during this fight and it'll have me slash vertically just like that. If that were any other kind of attack, that direction would have counted as vertical, but because it was a slash, it did not count as vertical. Now I'm actually surprised, looking back, I'm surprised that I chose to do this with heavies, with my heavy weapon, just because it's a little harder to maintain that shield. And as you can see, I almost lost it, but then after doing a super move, I was able to save myself and not die. And another experience gem, so that'll help a lot, because I think this one is higher than the one I previously had, but you can already see the previous couple of fights I went up 2 levels, but this fight I went up 3, and that can make a significant difference when you don't have a lot of stat points. Alright, so that's the last fight in this video. We'll see another gem or two. Got another combat shield gem, combo shield gem, so I'm going to put that on my gem sword. So the next challenge is going to be no dodging, but that will be on the next video. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoy the next one.